Why? And the high go wanna say, I don't got time for the hate. I need more time in my day. I put the ice in my bay, yeah. You riding on me. I get my drip overseas. Hey, niggas are hating on me, yeah.
How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Peace and blessings upon all my Akis and all my sisters out there. Welcome to Split Decision. I'm your host, Aki. To my left is no other than
Professor Nims, the pundit with the PhD in pugilism.
Talk to him nice. Don't talk to him twice. Now, his name is a professor for a reason because he's a real lifetime professor. Now, Aki stand for my brother in Arabic. For the people that don't know, is a New York, saying. You're supposed to say it Aki, but because that letter is not in English, it's pronounced as Aki in English. And obviously, in New York, you know what I'm saying, they say Aki, so put y'all in game. That's another way of saying Migo. Lomachenko. So, Lomachenko, I'm sorry. Lomachenko.
No Moschenko.
Lomachenko, because he want no smoke with Pacquiao or Devin Haney. So, Lomachenko, he came out, and he had an interview last night. Last night on ESPN, and they listed his record as 14-0 and 10 knockouts as an undefeated fighter, trying to fool the public. And that's crazy because as a fan, when you're watching it, so like we all know Lomachenko is not pound for pound number one. New media got Terrence Crawford as pound for pound number one, as all media should have Terrence Crawford as pound for pound number one. Lomachenko is on the pound for pound number one just because he's on the hope list. That being said, so when a fan is tuning in to ESPN, and he a casual fan, don't know much about the sport. That's why you should subscribe to Aki TV because you get informed about the sport if you subscribe to me. That being said, they watching ESPN and they see Lomachenko as this fighter with he undefeated. He pound for pound number one. So they're like, man, that's impressive. So I'm gonna check him out. And then when they go check his record out or they go see him on TV, he has a loss. And then they find out he's really not pound for pound number one. It's Terrence Crawford. So they found out they didn't just get lied to, but they got lied to by a network like ESPN. Like, I was so shocked by that. Now, people going to try to say, oh, it was probably a mistake. Man, listen, bro. They know what they're doing. They're trying to fool the public because they did the same thing with Teddy Atlas when he had his pound-for-pound list talking to Ward and Terrence Crawford. They had Errol Spence as a Cuban. They had a Cuban flag next to him. and Errol Spence at the time, he my man, but he wasn't on the pound-for-pound, especially not on the top five, right? I don't even know if he fought a Kell Brook at the time or not. So Teddy Atlas had Errol Spence number 5, but I think they meant to put Rigondeaux because Rigondeaux haven't fought Lomachenko, and he was actually about to fight Lomachenko. And so what the ESPN did, they put Rigondeaux back on the pound-for-pound list, so when Lomachenko beats him, it could be a good look, right? Because he was like not having fights because fighters was ducking him. So they put Errol Spence instead of Rigondeaux because they dislike Rigondeaux. That being said, we all know what ESPN doing, so we calling them out for the BS. So just like they overhyped Gennady Golovkin, they obviously had to stay. They were incorrected. Max Kellerman and Jim Lampley, out of their own mouth, said that his career is a failure. They, out of their own mouth, said his legacy have to be reviewed. And those the same people that put Gennady Golovkin on the list of the best fighters of the past 25 years. You know what I mean? So, are they going to do the same thing for Lomachenko? We've been preaching that 5 years ago, so they over here just catching up. Meanwhile, we've been telling y'all Lomachenko's overhyped. Don't get me wrong. He's better than Gennady Golovkin. Don't get me wrong. I believe he's probably even 5 times better than Gennady Golovkin. But he's as overhyped as Gennady Golovkin because the media trying to say he's as great as Roy Jones. When he went to the UK, everybody talking about his talent is as great as Roy Jones. We haven't seen a fighter like him since Muhammad Ali, and we all know Terrence Crawford still here today, pound for pound number one. And even Bob Arum said that Terrence Crawford is a better talent. However, Lomachenko is more promotable, and they've been promoting the shit out of Lomachenko, and he still can't even sell in the state. And when he went to the UK, he fought a ranked number 5, Luke Campbell, and that dude almost had him hurt a couple times in the fight, and he was ranked number 5 in the division. You talking about this guy is so great and all that, and Lomachenko after the fight coming out saying, oh, that was my toughest fight to this day. That being said, We all know what they doing. They out here playing the game of
He said that was
overhyping fighter.
His toughest fight should have been his loss.
This is that's what I'm saying.
When he lost to
This
Salido,
is an accident ready to happen. Lomachenko could only go 80 miles per hour while he's racing. However, ESPN wants him to go 150 miles per hour. So he gonna lose control and crash. That being said, when he crashed, what they gonna do? Hop off the waves like they did with Gennady Golovkin? The only way Lomachenko could live up to the expectations is by taking supplements. And that's why fighters end up taking supplements and steroids, because they trying to live up to this hype that the old media put on them. So they trying to live up to the Max Kellerman of the world, the Jim Lampley of the world. They've been overhyping them so much, and they can't live up to them expectations by their own talent. So they have to take certain supplements in order to live up to that. And that's why fighters end up taking steroids. And it's because of old media. So like I said, new media, we all about, we not here to create confusion. We over here trying to restore order and maintaining it. So giving credit to the fighters that deserve the credit, and the fighters that get way more credit than they deserve, like a Lomachenko, we expose it. Because at the end of the day, fighters put their life on the line. Patrick Day just died because, he a fighter. So you got to give fighters the credit they deserve, because they put on their life on the line for this. So that's what new media here for. That's what I keep here for. We are here trying to support our brothers. That being said, what you think about the whole situation with ESPN putting Lomachenko as an undefeated fighter instead of his real record with a fat-ass loss to Salido when he schooled him and took him to the Mexican school, a whole university that he didn't know about. You know how I just schooled you earlier, took you to the IQ University? That's what Salido did to him, and the man couldn't graduate, and he didn't want to revisit that same school. What you got to say to that?
Good. So I'll say that it's not a mishap by ESPN. Why they would do that, I'm not sure. In that sense, they're obviously behind the whole Lomachenko machine. I think some of it at least is warranted. I think he is a very talented fighter. Pound for pound, I would put him. I always have a 1A and 1B, which is kind of a slick way of not trying to decide one. But him and Terrence Crawford are up there.
Ain't no such thing as 1A, 1B, man.
It's not. But I mean, if somebody put him up there, I could understand their arguments in there. I think that he's beat a lot of really good fighters that I thought when he fought Nicholas Walters that he was going to have a lot of trouble. He didn't seem to have any trouble.
Because Walters was moving up in weight, and he came off like a year layoff. And let's not forget, Lomachenko is the same fighter that got schooled by Salido. Like,
that was a loss. It was a bad loss. It was. But listen, this was his second fight.
Well, he could have rematched him, but he didn't want to rematch him because he said Salido wanted more money. Yeah, he deserved more money because he beat your ass. He took you to a whole university that you don't know about. So you got to pay for that education. You got to pay for that education. You got to pay to go to that school again and graduate.
He got school. Part of that schooling was he took several low blows.
Man.
And Salido came in and did not even and missed weight. Yeah. And then he also missed weight. But those are old school things that I like Salido as a fighter, but Salido is somebody
up, and he still beat his ass.
Well, yeah, but I was gonna say that he's somebody who pushes the envelope when it comes to dirty tactics.
Man, listen, nobody had a problem when Hopkins did it. Nobody had a problem when Hopkins.
There was a lot of people that had a problem with Hopkins did it, but people just look at Hopkins as
boxing
professor of boxing.
You get away with what you could do. Listen. Floyd Mayweather found a way to win against Maidana when Maidana was hitting him in front of the referee. So what I'm saying is this: Salido beat Lomachenko so bad when even in the first 2 rounds, people go back and watch that fight. The first 2 rounds, Salido was schooling Lomachenko, boxing him in the outside by confusing him and throwing some looping shit. And when Lomachenko does his favorite pivot move when he leans to the right, Salido will switch positions from orthodox to southpaw and throw a wild left hook. So Lomachenko couldn't do his favorite pivot move. So basically, Salido negated Lomachenko's favorite move. That's why he won the fight. So give Salido the credit he deserved. He took him to the Mexican school.
He gets all the
I'm
credit.
saying Lomachenko haven't fought a Mexican-style fighter like him to this day. So we don't even know if he really could still be that style. He fights fighters that's more technical. That's what he does good against. But at the end of the day, we all know what time it is. They fed him a Salido. He got lost to. You know, he had a good fight with Gary Russell. That was his best win to this day. Rigan Diaz, man, he made him move up 2 weight divisions after 3 years of inactivity. Walters and Martinez. Like Martinez, bro. Look, Gamboa, a washed up version of Gamboa today knocked him out more impressively than freaking Lomachenko did.
He also stopped Jorge Linares. And he beat
Linares, dropped him, and it was a close fight. So what I'm saying, he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong, but he's not pound for pound number one. That's Terrence Crawford because he's more dominant. Now we had a disagreement on that. We already talked about it, and I'm posting the link below. We had it, and I think I won the debate hands down. You know, it's
I would
a
like to
decision,
know.
but it was a unanimous decision for me.
Who out there? Who you think is number one pound for pound?
Like I said, I proved it with facts when we had our argument.
No, fact. So, it's not. It's still a subjective thing when you talk about pound for pound.
I think fighters,
unless they go and fight each other, it's still it's still a subjective thing.
Now, see, we know Lomachenko turned down that smoke, so we already know he didn't want that smoke.
Yeah, he was smart to do that.
So on to the next topic. Tyson Fury got caught and he got busted by a sparring partner. You know, stay tuned, grab y'all popcorn and all that. And y'all saw last show. Me and Professor Nim. Professor Nim win at it.
I did want to say something, man. Like they saying that I might have bodied you, man. Is that true?
Hey, you know they said this show is split decision, but I knocked you out.
Oh.
That's what they said. Hey, Professor Nim was supposed to go out with me last night. He was a no-show. I had to check on him like, is my man in the hospital?
Not true.
You know what I'm saying? He a professor, but I'm about to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And go take care of him real quick. But thank y'all for tuning in to Split Decision. To my left, obviously, it's Professor Nim, a real lifetime professor.
I want to say it's Nims too. Is with it. I got the name Professor Nims, but it's actually Nims.
It's Professor Nims, but today he came to my IQ University. I took him to my IQ University. Hopefully he graduated. That being